Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And once again today it's been heavy snow like you saw in the last episode, and I'm still in the same glen that I was in the last episode as well. I've just come for a little walk. I'm right at the top as far as the main road goes at Glen Moy, and I'm just away to follow this track further up onto the hill and just see what cool things we see. I think last time I walked up this track it was in the summertime. The landscape just looks so crazy when we've got snow, and it looks so different in the winter. It's always worth coming up for an adventure all year round. We've been blessed with the sunshine on this adventure as well. I just love the character of these old little farms and stuff that's nestled in this landscape. Sometimes on a walk like this up a hill or whatever, or up a glen, it's amazing just the wee things you see along the way. Sometimes little bits of history and stuff that paints a picture of the glen years ago, and you get an idea of how all the things were constructed and what went on back at an ancient time. And I just love the character of this. Look at it. The roof on this shed's totally kaput. Most likely this is still used by like the gamekeepers or farmers up in this area, maybe shepherds. I'm wanting to just follow this road pretty much up here. Whoa, there's a big puddle. I have got the boots on for this adventure, so we should be okay for getting grap in this snow. Yeah, check this out. Wow, look at this. It's like an old animal stall in here. See, this is the crazy thing, folks. You never know what you're about to see. Just check this out. To the farmer and obviously the landowner here, will come with the greatest of respects. I'm just imagining the old sheep or the pigs maybe that was tied up to that, getting their food out of the old troughs. Look, there's still a bit of rope there yet. Maybe an animal tied there. You just imagine it, folks. And then over that side, I'm not sure. Could have been pigs as well. There's maybe an old pig shed here. And then there's been something in the middle of the floor. Looks like some sort of trough feed. So there's a tap. Yeah, so there we go. To kick this off, folks. Old animal stalls. The old character of the British farms. Scottish farming. The heritage of the land here. And that's often what carved these glen landscapes of Scotland. It was the farming, clearing areas for their agriculture, and getting their livestock areas to graze. They had to clear away the wild scrub, trees and bushes and stuff. And yeah, I'm just pretty much heading on up the hill out here and see what we see. There is an old like abandoned house. I'm hoping to walk right out as far as it and just take in this mad glen scene. Wow, it's so bright with the sun shining off the snow. And just look at these hills up ahead of us, folks. It's like I was saying in the Glen-esque video last week. Each glen's got its own character. It's almost like coming to a different country at times. Everything just looks so different. It's so bright here with the sunshine and I can hardly look over here. You can hear the thawing snow coming off that roof. To be honest, folks, the weather's not actually as bad up on this hill as what I was expecting. The only thing I can say is it's so bright on the eyes when you're walking in sunshine and snow. It's just crazy, like the brightness. But I'm kind of used to it now. I've been walking down here probably like a mile for that farm, and the landscape is just breathtaking out here. I've almost made it as far as this little croft house, which is just here. But yeah, it's just, I love adventures like this when I just head into the wild landscapes. It's amazing the sort of animals that I see, the amount of birds of prey and stuff like that. It's just crazy. They're all around, always hunting and looking for food. Check it out, folks, the little house on the hill here. Abandoned and forgotten little bit of Scottish history, just out here, imagine when you lived there looking out your view over here. Every morning when you were having your cuppy, you could have been looking down there towards Early Monument and so on. This house was maybe here before Early Monument even. The history in these glens is some ancient. Most likely a shepherd or a glen worker's house here. Again, these were often built for like farm workers or something, to do with that farm that we just saw at the start of the video. This was maybe the person that tended to the sheep and stuff up here on the hill. Oh, there's actually been a rear window here. Yeah, this is the sort of place, if you come in the summer, you can't even walk around as easy, because everything's just so overgrown. Yeah, look, there's some abandoned farm debris or something there. Old bits of equipment or a mechanism. Not even sure what that's been. It's maybe like an old, I don't even know, I was going to say a fold up chair, but it looks pretty industrial to be that. Yeah, this has been their little garden. You can still see the boundary line. What a nice house. Obviously it's too far gone now really to do anything with, but what a nice house it would have been to live in. This is the sort of location that I would just love to live. Okay, on one side you've got that crazy view down that way, and then up this side it's just those mad hills. See how peaceful it is too, folks. There's not even a sound apart from the raindrops, well, the water dropping off the gutters. Yeah, we'll go, we're entering this little house. See, I think stuff like this has probably been used from gamekeepers and like beaters in its most recent life. This is the wee bathroom added onto the house. That's how it's built like this. Originally these little Scottish houses would have had, the toilet was a separate little building outside the house. And then as the years went on, they rebuilt stuff like that. The Royal Institute of, what does that say on there, folks? Health and Hygiene. Whatever that's been. Yeah, it's just crazy. They've got the hot water thing. They've had electricity, for sure. Maybe these bits were built on literally like in the 80s or 90s for the comforts of the shooters. Yeah, look, it's got the old Bakelite light switches, potentially reused from another property. And this area here has likely been the kitchen. Look, you can see the old hot water tank here. Yeah, it's crazy. I was here one time before with the channel DJ, but like in the summer when you come to a place like this, it's just so different. Okay, it's a different vibe when there's like snow blowing through the cracks in the walls and stuff like that. The temperature I'm dealing with today, it doesn't even come across on the video, folks. It's literally like 1 degree Celsius. It would be like sitting in your freezer to watch this episode. But also the wind actually makes it colder. You get the wind chill factor. Look at that there. The old cooker switch. No way, the roof's kaput. That's why I like to record buildings like this, folks. Another few storms, that'll all fall down, and then you kind of see how it was. At least when it's like this, you can get an idea of the layout of the house. You can imagine the folk that at one time lived here, when it was a thriving little house. That's been the little front porch there with a shelf. All these electric boxes just dripping with water and hanging down. Some of that stuff doesn't look too old. So the gamekeepers were probably using it maybe up until the late 90s, I would say. You can see how these buildings are constructed with the rough stone just picked up from the hill. That's what you see a lot in Scotland. And this massive front window would have let so much light into the building. And then check the fireplace out, folks. I love seeing the old fireplaces. The character and stuff like that, it's just incredible. And how often would you see a thing like that with snow all around it? Ice on the mantelpiece. Yeah, this is so cool, folks. Check out the way the little hearth is and stuff like that. It's in good condition, but it may have been renovated and redone from whoever was like kipping in here. Oh, it's got a broken lintel stone, which is never a good sign in a building like this. The whole chimney breast may fall down at one point. Yeah, big chunks of roof lying all over the place. Another interesting detail. I'm trying to keep my shadow out of the frame here at this angle, folks, but look, you can see where the wall's been painted that brown colour. The old plaster there on top of the wooden lath. But look at the wall behind it, you can see the way they've done it. It's got that brick at the bottom half, and then at the top it's built with stone. It's almost like this house has been built maybe early 1800s, I would say. Rather than being an ancient house, it looks like from the construction, no, unless those other stones have been put in at a later time. Buildings like this were always renovated and redone. As the latest technologies came out, they would add it to the building. That's how often electricity was like crudely fitted in these buildings. Sometimes the wires were just nailed onto the outside of the walls and stuff like that. See here, this is where the old window on the outside had been blocked up with the stones. And you can see here they've converted it. Converted it into a wee cupboard. Check this out, folks, once again. Going into the heart of history. Oh, look at the wee door lock there. Again, even that, it's like a standard door lock, but it's probably better engineered than the best door locks today. They used to spend so much time back in those days, like crafting stuff like that. See here, you can see where they've had the original lath and plaster fitted in there, and it leads on along behind that red brick, which shows they've actually put that red brick in when they've redesigned this house at a later time. So that's an interesting thing with the architecture of this house. It's definitely been redesigned or redeveloped in the 1800s, and then probably constantly fitted. They've even got a wee TV aerial up there, which is mad to see. Oh, this has been so cool though to see this. Sometimes even if I've been somewhere, I forget the different things that's in each building, and it's mad when you come back to uncover the history. There's one of those old fire fronts made of cast iron. Even this lintel stone at this fire's broken, which shows the walls and stuff are all sinking down. So interesting, folks. I can see those massive white stones like we've seen a lot in the recent videos. Those big quartzy, flinty stones are found a lot in the Scottish geology all over this land. So quite often in houses and buildings you see them, and they've been used. Anyway, let's head on out of this absolute madness. I can see this triangular shelves there, which makes me think there's probably been shelves in that corner. And then over there you can see the cupboard assemblies just falling right forward out of there. Yeah, just when I come to places like this, I often just like imagine the people that was maybe standing at those fires at one time or cooking their dinner there. And even before the time when that extra bit was added on with the kitchen, they probably had an area here, I would say, for cooking. Maybe it was changed at a later time. Sometimes places are so far gone it's hard to see every detail of like what was there and that. Yeah, this has been so cool today though. I can also see out the front there, because of the springtime conditions we're out in, look, the daffodils are starting to come through. And just think, those daffodils were likely planted by the person that lived in this house. Look at the old sink, the overflow, the shape of it. Just incredible, folks. There we go, another bit of history documented within this wild, unforgiving land of Scotland. And who would have even known? I never even know when I leave my house what I'm about to go and see, but today we were limited for the extreme weather. And it's been cool that I've been able to walk so far and document this. Even in the freezing cold conditions, it's been worth it. That is an incredible scene right there, folks. It's amazing that I can share incredible places like this as well with folk all over the world. It's amazing the people that gets in the comments. I do appreciate everybody that leaves comments, and I do read them, and yeah, it's cool that I can keep sharing these places and these adventures, and I'm never happier than the times when I'm out on these adventures, exploring the mad lands and the things that I see along the way. It's just so interesting. And it's crazy often to paint a picture of the history and how the people lived in these lands years ago. Sometimes when I look around, I can't just believe what I'm seeing, how mad everything looks. Like, the landscape itself, it's just incredible. Right folks, I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching. If you want to see where I'm going next, I'm way to head on up, further up this path to another little abandoned location on the hill. It's cool to do these short little videos, and I try and do daily videos, but obviously when you're working all week and stuff, it's hard to get out and about loads of various different places, especially when the weather's like this at the weekend. But anyway, I'm ending this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with the next one.